I'm so excited because today we're going to talk about one of my absolute all-time favorite subjects as it relates to coaching. The truth is, as a coach, it can be extremely exhausting and overwhelming to try to reinvent the wheel every single time you're coming up with content. But the good news is you don't have to try to wreck your brain to figure it out. You don't have to drive yourself crazy or mad. In today's video, I'm going to walk you through the most important steps that you need to take to effectively repurpose your content while magnetizing your audience and making sure that you're not overwhelmed. All right, the first step to effectively repurposing your content is to know what it is that your audience wants. What's the point of putting content out and then delivering it time and time again, but not even being sure that that's what your audience is drawn towards? This is why it's so important to tune into what's worked in the past. And here's a little hint. If your audience loves something for free, how can you take that and expand on it and continue to grow that? You know that they're drawn to it. How can you turn it into something else? A second thing that you can do is you can start doing keyword research. When you're doing keyword research, you can pay attention to what phrases are standing out, what things people are looking up, and also pay attention to where there's gaps. Is there information missing? Is there something that you feel like your audience should know that isn't being shared? And how can you weave that into the content that you actually create? The second step is to create content with repurposing in mind. Now, repurposing is basically taking content that's already creating and reusing it and redelivering it, okay? But if you create content just for something quick with the intention of it being quick, then how are you going to effectively repurpose it? For me, even as I'm creating this right here, right now, I'm thinking about how it can turn into a blog post, how it can turn into a workbook, how it can turn into a podcast. But I'm very intentional about the way I'm delivering it, the format I'm delivering it in, and I created it with repurposing already in mind. When you create with repurposing in mind, it helps you to already think in advance how you can use it on different formats and different mediums. But more importantly, it helps to ensure that you're bringing the right energy and effort into your creation process to begin with, because you're not overwhelmed thinking of all the things you have to do, but you're like, if I can get this one thing done, then I can take this and turn it into a million different things. The third step is to change the medium. If you are delivering content, there are going to be some people that love Clubhouse. There's going to be some people that love stories. There's going to be some people that love reels or lives or posts or blogs or YouTube videos. And the point is, if you get to change the medium, you get to meet your audience exactly where they're at. Now, a lot of people will say, well, what if I make a podcast and a YouTube video and someone follows my podcast and my YouTube? That's okay. It's okay for them to be exposed to the information more than once because it'll help solidify it in their brain and it gets them in your energy. But for the people that really only like one specific platform or one specific medium, you get to meet them where they're at, which means you really are expanding your reach by repurposing your content. The fourth and final step that I have for you is to create a system that works for you as it relates to repurposing. Now, I've given you the foundational steps that you need to effectively repurpose, but if you're already struggling with content creation or struggling with how to expand it, I want to give you some examples so that you can see what feels like it will fit. So, for example, if you really love YouTube, you really love talking, you could take a YouTube video, strip the audio, and turn it into a podcast. If you really love YouTube, but you know that other people really like blogging and you're not a strong writer, you could take YouTube video and turn it into a blog post. If you love writing like little blurbs on social media, you can take that and expand on it and create a blog post or an email newsletter. If you love Clubhouse because you're like, I don't have to get dressed, I don't have to do anything, you can take Clubhouse and also turn that into a blog post. Or you can even turn that into a podcast that you can use later. If you're a person that's on the fly and you don't want to think about anything or plan it out, go ahead and live stream. And then you can download that live stream and upload it to YouTube. And now you've killed two birds with one stone. Maybe for you, you're an avid writer and you'd love to be able to write. You can write your blog posts out and then eventually turn that into a podcast or into a YouTube, or even take it a step further and turn it into an ebook if you beef it up that you get to sell. You can take graphics that you've created for online social media and weave them into your blog post or make them a part of your stories, social media stories. There are so many different ways that you can repurpose, and I highly recommend that you find a way that works for you. For me, I would take one thing and repurpose in upwards of 7 different ways. But here's the thing, you don't have to start there. Start small, get comfortable, and then build into a way that repurposing feels good for you. Research says that it takes 7 times for people to really remember and embody new information. So my friend, do your audience a favor by bringing your information back time and time and time again. And do yourself a favor by decreasing the overwhelm by repurposing. This is literally going to be the best tool that you'll have in your tool belt as a coach. And it'll seem like you're all over the place and you're doing all the things when really you're actually creating less. The best part about repurposing is that there's no deadline or timeline or finish line from which you need to do it. So if you already have content that you know has resonated with your audience or magnetized your audience or drawn your audience in and that you've enjoyed creating, determine how you can take that content that you already have and repurpose it and use it. I know for me, I remember when I first learned about repurposing content, I took a masterclass I taught, got it transcribed, and used that to help me outline and structure my book. Obviously, I beefed it up a ton, but it gave me a great starting point to write one of my books. And so there is no deadline. Take what you already have and determine how you can repurpose it effectively moving forward. If you're looking for more tools, strategies, and support on the journey to becoming a profitable and impactful coach, use the notes to check out the link to join my 3-day Profitable Coach Challenge, where I literally walk you through the most important pillars you need to build a healthy foundation for a profitable and impactful business. Trust me when I say your future self will be so grateful when you join. So check out that link, and I look forward to seeing you there. Until next time, I will check in and chat with you all later. Bye, guys.